Are men to blame for the way women treat them? Are men to blame for the way women treat them? And I do have a video to play to give you guys a little bit of context. Here we go.
I see men every day that get into the comments of beautiful women and say things like, pure stranger, I'll marry that, I'll wife that. Bro, let me help you understand. I blame vocally, if that's a word, I give y'all the bulk of the blame for the reason that women treat y'all such as they do. Let me help you understand. If you had the same love for yourself, the same value and the same worth, you wouldn't have to say shit like, "Oh, you're so fine, I'll marry you." You would get that type of energy in return, number one, and you would be wise enough to know that being fine doesn't mean y'all gonna have a healthy and equipped marriage. But because you niggas have such little self-love and worth, y'all say extreme shit like that, which then give women the notion that all they need to do is look cute to get a duck ass nigga like yourself to say some shit like, "I'll marry you." And then on the other hand, excuse me, all a lot of y'all really present in a relationship is money. And then y'all wonder why, like, y'all basically, y'all presentation is like, "Look, baby, I got money." And then you wonder why she only wants you for your fucking money. So we have this broken connection out here amongst the culture where women feel like they got to be cute to get what they want, and you feel like you got to have money. And then from there, y'all go procreate, and y'all just make a bunch of little babies that only know vanity, only know money, but have no financial literacy. So at the end of the day, motherfuckers just end up being some cute ass bums, like a lot of people are that's watching this video right now.
All right, well, you guys heard it. Are men to blame for the way women treat them? He said it's like a broken, it's just a circle just going around. What do you guys thoughts about the video? And if you guys think that men are partially to blame for the way women treat them?
I think absolutely, man. Like what he was explaining about hopping in the DMs and hopping in the comments, giving validation to something that wasn't earned. You know what I mean? Just some cleavage and a big butt. You know what I mean? Like you're saying that you would wife somebody just off of their appearance alone. So of course that's gonna boost them up to expect something that's not reality. But I mean, and I think that's the problem. I think the problem is they hear it so much from some people, and then when it comes down to a real situation, they're not getting those results, and that yields a lot of disappointment. You know.
What's going on, T-Bon? You ain't got to choke up over there, Jay.
Come over there and help you.
You must have said some profound shit or something like that. Either maybe she got irritated. I don't know. Let me get one of the ladies in here real quick. What do you guys thoughts about what was said? Are men to blame for the way women treat them?
I don't. I mean, liking somebody's post or just giving them a compliment in general is not going to make me mistreat somebody. However, I will say that what I've noticed is a lot of men do focus on the vanity, the superficial aspects of a woman. And so women focus on that. And then when they do have that, they do feel as if they can treat people any way they want to treat people. So I have seen it, but I don't think that comes from, I think complimenting people, it's, is okay. I think when we preach though, not necessarily in the comments, but when we preach period, that, you got to keep your looks up, or beauty means all of these things. When you talk to a man, you're like, what do you need? Most of them say beauty and you to be feminine. Am I right? So if you keep saying that, a woman is going to focus on those two things. And if they do have that, some people get the big head and they do mistreat people. On the flip side, if you're being mistreated by anybody, it is your responsibility. A person should have one time to mistreat you and you're out the door. And that's on any given situation as female or male or female. And yes, you are responsible. You're not responsible for the initial mistreatment, but you're responsible for staying in a situation where you're continuously being mistreated. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all I can say.
All right. What about you, Hank? What are your thoughts, sir? I see your hands are folded. I know this is touching souls over there. So what are your thoughts about it, sir? Are men to blame for the way women treat them in reference to the video we just watched?
I mean, yeah, I agree with what the man said about women are men to blame. Yeah, because if we accept that bullshit, then who can I put any fault on but myself? I can't blame nobody else but myself. if I allow it to happen, if I tolerate it, if I accept it and deal with it, yeah, I'm to blame. There's no way I would accept that bullshit from no woman like that. I'll leave her ass at the goddamn restaurant. There's no need for you to accept the disrespect, the constant belittling or emasculating of you. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't accept that. And if a woman does that, she has no respect for you. You need to leave her alone.
All right, I'm going to highlight this comment for one of our panel members. She'll be back with us shortly. But Ms. Toya said, men are not to blame. A man or any person for that matter will only do it what you allow.
But it sounds like the man is to blame then.
Yeah,
only allow what a woman allow. I mean,
I can see what she's saying. However, like let's say social media, for example, and guys are like, like old boy was saying that, oh, you find us this, that, and the third. We're not gonna go and correct every single person that has said something on IG or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do that. So it's just like you just let it fly. You kind of just see what he's about. Like, you know what, whatever.
And real quick, why I say men are to blame is because, okay, say if 17 men hop in your DMs, trying to holler, and I'm 18, I'm not trying to holler. I just have a question or I need some assistance with something. Automatically, I'm grouped in with that 17 because they were, trying to get at you. And I'm genuinely not trying to get at you, but you treat me as if I am. That's our fault. That's the previous guy's fault.
Unfortunately, that is true.
And then too, if she doesn't know you, she probably is just treating you like a stranger. She doesn't know you, and so I guess I would have to get more information on how you feel like you're being treated, Like, are you coming off wrong? Because sometimes when you're coming in, you can see that the first sentence, if it's like a business, question, she can see that you mean business, But if you're like, good morning, beautiful, good morning, that may be a little different.
Every man promotes as if it's business in some capacity. Like, oh, I see your car looking a little raggedy. I work over at the Jiffy Lube, so I can help you out. But essentially, it's all just coded in business, but it's really, I'm trying to get at you.
So I think this is basically a conversation, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Honestly, that's what this really is, right? Because on one hand, you could be like, well, if men stop saying, hey, beautiful, and all this other shit, oh, I'll marry her, and like the shit like what Derek Grace was talking about, you could say that that's the part of the problem, right? Or you could be like, well, if she wouldn't have put that thirst trap picture up there for us to sit here and go and have all these types of and say all these types of stupid ass comments, you could say that as well, right? Honestly, I don't think we're gonna be able to determine are men to blame for the way women treat them, or the vice versa. I don't know, man.
I was just going to say, you teach people how you want to be treated, right? And so in the area, like with men, if they're saying they want women that are beautiful, they lead with their money, you're going to attract what you put out. So women are going to adapt to some of that stuff to be like, all right, let me, like he said, focusing on my beauty. And then at the same time, have the expectation that I need, my dude to have money. Now, vice versa, men also say like they, want the box too. And so you also have women that are just giving it up. But on the flip side of that, in holding women accountable, if you know you have more to offer than your beauty and your box, then you can't lead with that. So even though they set the standard of this is what I want, you have the option of choosing whether or not that's how you want to present yourself. So I think it goes like, hand in hand, because you as an individual set the standard as to how you want people to approach or respect or treat you.
Well, so on my show, this is what, we call extreme compliments when you say stuff like, oh, I'll marry you because of this. Now I don't believe this can be generalized as the reason why women treat men the way they do. I don't believe that. I think he stated something about a broken connection, because this makes women just want his money. And I would say, all women want, it's not all women want, but what I'm saying, you can blame society on that. You can blame the way manospheres are talking today as far as, you know, what we value in a woman as far as their beauty and what we have to offer, what we advocate for ourselves as men, what we have to offer is provisions and protection. So there's no reason why a woman wouldn't think that, okay, a man is supposed to offer his money, you know, his resources as far as whenever it comes to what you bring to a table to make the relationship work. And I think it's all based on the understanding of the both couples that's trying to get into a committed relationship. Like what are they agreeing to do? But I do agree it's more than just her body. But I say it's all subjective to which man values in the person that they're dealing with. I personally do not believe extreme compliments from men are what's causing women to think that all they have to do is be fine to be married. I do believe the best version of yourself as far as beauty and fitness goes is about 70% of a woman's value. And you know, that can give a man a significant enough reason to want to marry a woman.
I wanted to say too, I think that were you done? Because yours went out. Okay, good. So what I wanted to say too is you take for I can use me as an example. If you comment, "Oh, I want to marry you," I just think it's cute, it's flattering. Thank you. You know, that's a compliment. I'm not going to mistreat you because you paid me a compliment. That's the character of the person. If a person is mistreating you or downing you because you paid them a compliment, you need to look at the character of the person, because I don't know why that would sway how you now you may get the big head and may have more confidence, but that's just people, men and women, when they get the big head. But for the most part, a man commenting on a post saying "I'll marry you," that shouldn't sway a person's character in any type of way. If anything, you should be flattered and grateful that he's even paying you any type of attention, because he could not.
So after thinking about this topic a little bit more, right? Like, I think some of this is, well, I think the majority of this is men. I mean, are women are treating men a certain type of way because there are men that's out here that's spinning the bag on these women, right? Fucking average women, some of them subpar women. So when a nigga who got something together come to him on some like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you," and they like, and they, "Nigga, please," all this extra shit, it's because they done had some fool willy nigga that done dropped the bag on them, made them think their valuation is higher than what it really is. So now they walk around with snotty ass attitudes, right? So fellas, stop spending your money on women that you know damn well don't deserve it or haven't earned it, is what I should say. When I say spending money, I'm not talking about taking a woman out on a dinner date. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you fool niggas that's out here buying bags and just giving out, "Oh, here's this amount of money so you can go and blow it," you know what I mean? Just so you can look good, and using it as an entrance into the box. That's what a lot of niggas do, right? But because of that, because niggas is trying to go to extreme measures to get to the box, they done hyped and piped up this woman, making them think they're more valuable, or their valuation is higher than what it really is. In turn, regular guys, normal guys get treated like garbage in the club. You ain't in the section, nigga, don't try to holler at me. I see this shit all the time with promotions and shit like that, or whatever out here in the Tampa area. Don't nigga, you at the bar with a little Hennessy and Coke, nigga. Don't. What about the nigga that's over there with the 6 bottles in his section?
Little do they know that man with that Hennessy and Coke got more going on than.
Well, I knew you were about to say something. I'm assuming you were about to say. Little do you know that dude that's standing at the damn bar with a cup of Hennessy and Coke, right, probably got it better than the niggas that's sitting in sections.
I see it all the time as well. So right. I mean, I definitely don't think that women should be, just because a man is spending money on them, that they should be treating guys like, "Oh, like, get away from me, don't talk to me." Like, I think that's whack to me. Like,
well, maybe I'm confused.
But that is the dynamic, right?
What I'm thinking about is how women treat you, not just talk about comments or somebody saying something about marrying them on Facebook. I just thought we were talking about how women treat you, period. It's a man's fault for accepting that. So we're not talking about that, period.
I mean, I think people just, you know, telling their own
versions of it.
You're saying in general how women treat you in general, not necessarily because of, okay.
Yeah, that's what I think what was dangerous about his what he said. That could be poison to a lot of man's ears, because then now you're recreating a narrative of why women are treating men like they're treating them today. That's just giving women a place to hide behind, saying, "Oh, well, if you didn't compliment us so extreme, then we wouldn't treat you like shit." And I think that's poison to society right now, especially
No,
with the. Oh, go ahead.
no, I'm just gonna say I don't think it's poison. I think any information that we hear, we just got to have balance. I always preach balance. You know, it's up to you to be able to apply it the way it needs to be applied to your life. So I don't think it's poison. I think it's some value, it's some truth into it. But you just got to figure out how to apply it to your life.
Ironically, before we jumped on here, we was talking about like, we were talking about like thirst trapping and shit like that or whatever, right? I bet you that the dynamics would shift completely if, for example, if it's ladies, y'all putting these thirst trap pictures out there, right? And I'm talking about them scant ones, right? Y'all putting these thirst traps out there for the likes and shit like that. Fellas, if you stop liking all them pictures altogether, it might bring them back down to earth, because some of them are like way out there just because they show the cheek. You know what I'm saying? So if we stop liking their pictures altogether, that may bring, if they originally are at this level, they'll drop back down to where their actual market level is, what they know it to be, right, or what it should be.
Well, let me just ask, because first of all, I don't think I have any thirst trap pictures, but
as you close,
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real.
Anyhow, but my question is, that would not be.
As
You're
you close the
assuming that
curtains.
every woman who gets a like is going to have bad character. Some people, like myself, if I am trying,
I didn't
if
say
anybody,
that.
if I could be in public, if somebody pays me a compliment, I look at it as a compliment. Why would I mistreat a person who is complimenting me? Like,
So-
that's just dumb to me. Like, why? What? Thank you, and a genuine thank you. That's you
let
gotta
me-
be able to separate the two. There are women out here you compliment, and we're appreciative for the compliment. Maybe I need to hear that compliment that day. You know, so you can't punish us all because a few bad character chicks think they too much. You know, so that's just my opinion on the situation. But if you are that person, look, the man don't have to pay you no attention. Now, if he's in there doing something very lustful to the point where it's inappropriate, that's a different story. If he's paying you a compliment, say thank you and move on. What's wrong with a thank you?
Now, let me ask you a question real quick. How would Shantae, how would you appreciate, what would you say is the rate that you would accept something like that and still remain humble?
For
So
somebody
just
saying you look gorgeous,
you look
beautiful,
gorgeous,
I
right?
want to marry you, those are not bad comments to me.
So imagine getting that 3,000 times a day for 2 years straight.
Then turn your comments off.
No. What I'm saying is, do you think it will warp your perception of how you receive that comment?
No.
You think you would
To
still
marry
remain?
somebody now, if he got in my comments and said I want to like something inappropriate to me, that's different. But something as honorable as marriage, that to me
I
is
think
a
you're missing
compliment.
his
Oh,
point
thank
a little
you.
I think you missed his point a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry, let me hush.
He's saying that, like, I'm guessing what he's saying is, like, if you're getting all these likes daily or weekly or whatever, are you still do you think that you're still be humble or something like that? Is that what you're trying to say? Something like
Yeah, I'm saying that, okay, you in your current position, receiving that here and there is one thing. However, receiving that 2,500 times a day for a long duration, would it warp your perception? Would it warp how much validity it holds or how you appreciate it? You know what I mean? Somebody is saying that you're beautiful once every 6 months feels different than somebody saying that every day, 2,500 times a day.
Well, do you
I would be appreciative. I don't know. I guess I'm a different character. I would just say thank you, like, because I do that. Now I get a lot of people on, especially they say, "Hey, thank you." You mean, they pay you a compliment whether they mean it or not, and I'm always grateful. Thank you. I go to each one of them and I say thank you. No matter how many it is, it may take me a while. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Do you think it depends on too where that the individual starts in terms of the way they think about themselves? So if you already think that you're attractive, then I don't know if hearing, I mean, it reinforced, like hearing somebody over and over again saying how attractive you are or you're beautiful. If you already feel like that about yourself, hearing that, I don't know if it would necessarily warp your opinion about yourself, other than it reinforcing what you already know. Versus if you thought you were beautiful and then other people are like, oh, she's ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I think at that point, I think if it's opposite of what you already think of yourself, then it will have a greater impact.
Hey, you know what? You know
That
what's
makes
funny?
sense.
You know what's funny is, and this I know this to be true, right? Some of y'all ladies that's out here, some of y'all that's in the chat right now, you'll have a picture up, right, with scantily as hell. You got your ass out, you got your titties out, 3 million motherfucking likes. You know what, Marcel? Keep my if Marcel, if you in the chat, keep my cuss count. Or actually, Toya, from here on out, please keep my cuss count. I said I was gonna work on that on Sundays. But you'll have something over the top, scantily. You know what I'm saying? Got your A and your T's out. Get 1 million likes, and then you got a regular picture, right, up on your wall or whatever, and you getting not even a fraction of the likes, right? All your normal pictures are at 100 likes, but all your scant ones are at 3,000 likes, right? But you walking around with the mentality of the 3,000. No, go to what the standard is across the board, right? And understanding that's where we are, right? Be realistic with who we are. We like to overvaluate ourselves and things of that nature or whatever. Now, granted, it don't apply to everybody, right? Some people don't get moved by their likes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if you out here and you doing that, right, like, come back to reality, bro.
I'd be
You know,
happy with my 100 likes.
And I say this to Jay's point. I mean, I know it was a question for the lady, but whenever you ask questions like that, I try to see if I can compare it and align it to what the value of a woman. And I think the value of a woman is in her beauty. And if she's beautiful enough, she will get those compliments. Just like I think the value of a man is in his ability to be productive. You know what I'm saying? And be goal driven. And if he's getting, and the way I try to compare that is if he's getting compliments saying, hey, man, all about 25, like the same scenario, 2,500 people, man, hey, you're a good man, you're a great guy, we like what you're doing. And he's hearing this from 2,500 different people, just like she's hearing how beautiful she is from 2,500 different people. I think that if that many people are saying it, then I don't think there's a necessary for her to be humbled or for him to be humbled. If everybody is saying the same thing, if everybody is speaking the same language, then if you already know that you're a great guy and you're actually getting the confirmation from your surroundings, I'd say cherish that and embrace it, because there's a lot of shit going on in the world that's just bringing us down and a lot of obstacles. And I think having that praise from your accomplishment, because you never know, this woman might be in the gym behind the curtains. We don't know what this woman or this man is going through.